And now the fifth one is the secret one I said at the beginning that I would talk about, which is the most commonly missed opportunity to increase revenue, and was the one that that I fought against for years. Even when I had this one business coach that I had every week, he would bother me about this, and I'd say, nope, nope, we're not going to raise our rates. We're never going to raise our rates. We want to be competitive with the prices, and also I don't want to put any of my students under and make them quit. So I fought against this for years. But what happened one day is that I did the numbers on my studio and I realized this isn't going to work in the long term. We have to raise our rates. So what I did was I grandfathered my old students, so I kept them at the same rate. I think I raised them all like $1 or $2 an hour, just a little bit. But then I raised my rates by first 10%, then up to 25% more for all the new students. So once we were at the capacity to pay the expenses of the studio, and I wasn't afraid of people leaving, I just started raising the rates. So now I think at one point we were at like $43 an hour back like probably 3 years ago. But now we're at $53.50 an hour for a private lesson. So that's like a 25% increase. And so we lose a few people who say that's too expensive, but that's then we have the group classes. So you say, oh, well, for half the price, you can go in a group class and you can still learn music. So that's what we do. If when people say it's too expensive, we push them into the group classes, which actually we make more money from. So that's it. You won't necessarily lose students. You just sort of like funnel them in different directions. Or you could propose, if your studio is open to this, you could propose bi-weekly classes. So, okay, it's too expensive. You take 4 1-hour classes a month. That's like $200 a month. But if you do bi-weekly classes, it's $100 a month. Does that fit your budget? That kind of thing. So work with the students, raise the rates, and then work with them to find the place for them that works best. So really raise your rates. Here's a really simple kind of calculator for if you raise your rates, what that can look like. So if you're charging, I just put up a number, $40 an hour, and you have 25 hours a week you're teaching, that's $1,000 a week. Theoretically, if you teach every week for the whole year, you make $52,000. Okay. If you instead of doing 25 hours a week at $40, you get 5 new students. So 5 hours a week at $50, you've brought in $2,600 more revenue. And then if you do $40 an hour at 10 hours a week, and then 15 hours a week at $50, you're at $1,150 a week. So now you're from 52,000 to pretty much 60,000. So that's about $8,000 increase in revenue. So that's a big difference. That's a few months rent on your studio, like right there. Or the difference between breaking even and having a small amount of profit. And, and then once, say if, we grandfather our students. So our students, they don't pay this rate, but, they pay some different rates, the old students. This is just an example. But say at some point, all of your old students have quit, and now you're at $1,250 a week instead of $1,000. So that's $65,000 a year. Also, what I've been doing is just raising the rate of some of my old students. So I give them like 60, 90 days notice and say, hey, this has to happen. Otherwise, we're going to go to business. So yeah, I haven't had anyone quit. Some people are not super happy about it. So you have to be kind of careful. That's why I don't do it so aggressively with old students, because there's also kind of the loyalty aspect. I have students who study with me for 9, 10 years. So I'm hesitant to kind of raise the rates like, $10 an hour all of a sudden. So I'll do things like I'll say, hey, next month it's going to go up $2 an hour. And then in 3 months after that, it's going to go up another $2. And I'll tell them like the target is that within, 6 months or a year, it's like you're at the same place. So with my super loyal students who I've had for like, say, over 5 years, those ones I do really slowly, but I tell them what the target price is just so they know what's coming. What if, you can get to this number? So our original number was 52,000. What if there's a way to get to 72,000? And this is without new students. This is just, we're talking about like the hourly rates. So that's implementing group classes, that kind of thing. And then what if there's a way to pretty much double the revenue? So that's also bringing in other teachers. Yeah. So this is why raising the rates is so um, valuable, and a lot of schools hesitate to do it because we think that we should price competitively. But also, there's something to be said to charging a little bit of a premium for what you offer and then standing behind it, um, because it also creates like it makes your what you offer more valuable. So you're no longer like the same as everybody, but you're offering something that has more value. So perceived value, but that's often what people need to make decisions. So if they think that, oh, it's a $10 an hour more to study at that school, it must be good. If you have good teachers, then they're going to come in and be really happy with their choice. So raising the rates is the number one most, what did I put? Missed opportunity to increase revenue. So look at your numbers, and if things are struggling, like it can be, instead of trying to always get in new students, it can be a matter of like raising your rates. So with your old students who are loyal, do it very, very carefully. You don't want to push people out, and you want them to feel like you want to show them that you appreciate that they're there. So it could be like telling them next month they're going to go up $1, but then in September it's going to go up like $2 more. And then for all the new students, you could raise it like, $5 an hour to start, and kind of go until you hear that it's too expensive, but then have your group classes to funnel those people into.